everyone, my name is Sara and welcome to episode 32 of Day to Day Knits. This, as you can see, is a new setting. It's only for this episode and I hope you can hear me. I am in Florida with my husband's family and we're not too far from the highway, and we are surrounded by houses with pools that have the cascading water feature, and that feature is very loud and it actually just kicked in. I've been trying to set up my camera for like half an hour, and just as I wanted to start recording, they've turned on, so I hope you can hear me well. I am wearing the Gondor vest that I test knitted for Fabel Knitwear. I used Knitpicks Aloft in the color Cranberry and the Knitpicks Stroll Tweed in Garnet Heather. Garnet Heather is darker than the Cranberry, but the Cranberry is really bright red, so it makes for this darkish red instead of bright red or very dark red color, but you can still see some of the tweed through the mohair. I really like it. It took me 2 weeks. The whole thing is ribbing. I wish I had made it longer than what the pattern says. It's bottom up, and again it's all ribbing, and I think I only did, I think the pattern says something like knit these many inches or centimeters minimum, and then you can add more if you want to, but I'm not used to doing things bottom up, and I didn't know how deep exactly the armholes were going to be, so I didn't know how low it was going to sit exactly, but it sits like 2 inches above my belly button, so it's really short. So if you're gonna knit this, I would say probably add at least 2 inches. So I only wear it with shirts that are flowy, and I find it okay for them to stick out below the vest instead of being tucked in. Or I wear it with a blazer on, because a blazer will hide whatever inches of blouse there is between my pants and my vest. Now I have lots of things to talk to you about. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 finished objects, although 2 of them you've already heard about, so this is just a quick show and tell. And then I have 2 whips. I actually wanted to have 2 more whips, but I just haven't had time to get to them. I'll show you the yarn for those though. Okay, so let's see, what do we have first? First, we have the Summer Storm scarf. Last time I had not blocked it, this time I did. So it barely rolls because it has an I-cord on the edge. And you can really see how it looks. If you go to my Instagram, I have a little post that's it's just a video snippet of me in the car, so you can see this like that on my hair tie. It's not like that actually. I could have had it like that if I just had my hair elastic holding it, but I did this and then after that I tied it, so this end is actually folded like that, and this one is like that, and they're knotted, so this one is like that. But anyway, I just wanted to show you how it looks like after blocked. You can tell more clearly that little detail in the middle, and I'm really liking it. I might actually make a few more because while it was not super intuitive at the beginning, you're reading a chart as you go. The end is, I think, intuitive, and the middle as well. So, yes, I think I might make some more. I might make a few like as presents in the future too, because they're fast and they barely use any yarn. I mean, I did this, I did a baby beanie, and I still have enough to probably make a few more, like several more, and one more beanie. I still have like probably like this much yarn. So that's that. Then I wanted to show you the right direction cardi because you saw me sticking it, and I wanted to show you how I'm wearing it. You can look on the inside. I just put this little pin, like what women have holding bras. Oh, I say I finished it, but I still have to fix that. I completely forget. But also I have shoulder pads on this shirt, so this might be a little bit awkward. But if I did not have a vest, this should look better as well. But see, you just have this little pin and the rest of it just stays open. It's quite warm. I like it. Okay. Then, and I really just wanted to show you how it looks like when open. If you want to know more about this project, you should check out previous episodes. Because I did a lot of changes to this project. Alright, so something else that I have. Oh no, do I have it here? Okay, maybe it's inside this bag. If not, then maybe it's inside the other bag. Okay, it is in here. I still need to put the tag on that jacket, and I need to put the tag on another vest. I might put the tag on this one too, but I'm not sure. Because this baby bites, never like knowing, you know, like, and remember me as it grows up. So alright, so this is a little baby hat. I am probably off gauge. I didn't check, and it works like this, and then you tie these. And the parents, the mother actually asked me to try to get an orange close to the team that they support, so this is the orange I used, which is the same orange that I used for the scarf. So I used the scarf on game days. This is the Autumn Beanie Mohair by Jord clothing. I thought that the instructions at the beginning were very confusing, but I don't think it made a difference from what it was supposed to look like. Although it is very puckered at the top, like I don't know. Maybe I was too loose between my increases, because you start here, you go down. This is actually doubled up, which means that I just get to hide my ends inside instead of you know, trying to put them between other stitches. And then you just add these on the side, picking up from these stitches down here, and then you do your I-cords. The yarn is Old Rusted Share Sock Feisty, which is the same as the Summer Storm scarf, and I hope that the parents like it. I think that they do per the picture, but you know, once the baby actually comes into the world, this will be too big for it to wear. Might have to wait for the head to grow a little bit bigger. Maybe it will be good for next year though. Or at least this spring, maybe? I don't know. I feel like it's quite large for a newborn. Too wide. Checking gauge is necessary for a reason, but sometimes I just ignore it. Then finally I have the super bulky mittens for women. I did one slightly tighter than the other, and I think this one is the tighter one. The pattern is not exactly like this. I added 11 rows of ribbing, and at the end, once I had 6 stitches, 6 stitches overall, I did the Kitchener stitch. And these are extractions and yarn that I bought at a store called Bliss Yarns, which is in Brentwood, which is, some people say it's in Nashville, but it's, I think, its own town by Nashville, like a satellite town. So they are the super bulky mittens for women by Diane Soucy. And I used the Malabrigo yarn Rasta with a 57 English rows for the colorway. I really like them. I've been wearing them all the time for when I go to work by bicycle, because the air does not go through them because they are so thick. They are very, very thick. Highly recommend them if you are in a place that gets, you know, ice and snow and such, and you are outside getting like public transportation or riding a bicycle. And that's really all I have to say about these. The hats took me just a few days. The scarf took me equivalent to a day. It was one weekend. The gloves, like this one, I redid it like 4 times because I was doing it at night and I kept making mistakes, but overall both of them took me, I think, less than 4 hours to make. So if you need a quick gift, it's a good option. I still had a little bit of yarn left, but I really don't know what I would do with it. It doesn't seem to be like enough for a single project. So then I have 2 whips. I have my vest number 1 by My Favorite Things, and I started it the day before yesterday on our car ride down to Florida, and I did most of the back. That's the back. This is top down. You can see this is the underarm, and then yesterday I worked on the top, and I only want to finish doing the increases, put it in the round, so on the car ride back on Sunday I can get these, you know, just done in simple knits, like nothing for me to have to look down, get car sick or anything like that. And I have that. I did that using the Knit Picks City Tweed DK color toad because it's what I had left from doing this vest. So if you can remember, I did this vest, which is called His Vest by Church Mouse Yarns and Tees, for last Christmas, and I shrank it because it was too long for my dad, so I just thought I would shrink it in their dryer. Their dryer is very different from my dryer, so it immediately got felted. Like, it was completely unwearable. It was smaller than this one. No flexibility. You could not tell that there was ribbing anywhere, because it does have ribbing at the bottom and then on the v-neck and down there. But it was just completely ruined. So this summer I'm redoing it, regifting it, and using, like, I changed the pattern a lot to make it both shorter and narrower, because even though I was using the smallest size, my father is not as big as the smallest size, and he's not a very large man, so I don't know. I don't know. Their sizes don't go smaller because I know a whole lot of people that are smaller than my father. So people would have to do a lot of changes to that pattern. But anyway, after doing all those changes, but still buying the same amount of yarn that I used last time, just so I wouldn't run out, I ended up having enough yarn to make myself a vest. It might end up being as short as this one. We'll see. I hope not. But we'll see. And I still have to put a tag here. But we'll be matching this Christmas if I finish in time. This is not the yarn that I had plans on using for making this vest, the vest number 1. But I think it's cool that we'll be matching. And also I have another friend that has asked me to make her one. She said she'd pay. I did the math after doing the swatch, and with yarn and me being paid $1 per hour, it comes up to like $97. So, I mean, this is something that I can tell people, hey, if you want to pay me $1 an hour, and you know, you'll be like, oh, I feel so bad. I'm like, yeah, well, but it's $97 if you only do that. So you can understand why I cannot do that colorwork sweater that you want me to do, because that would be way more expensive and you would feel bad about paying you only $1 an hour. But for my friend Ale, I don't mind doing the vest. She is a very small person. It's a very simple pattern. She is in Canada and she's from Italy. So, you know, and I think she really appreciates handmade things. She is herself a maker, and she doesn't mind paying this much money, even though she does say that she feels bad that she's only paying me $1 an hour. But I'm also in this too because I like to make things, and I've been wanting to make her something. I've been wanting to make her a beanie, but this is fine too. I don't mind it. So I told her, you know, I could do this, but you know, just know to expect this price. So I have, I think, like 12 more rows, and then I'll put it in the round, and I'll set this aside because I have something else I want to work on. But I'll get to that later. I have one more whip. These are the Portuguese Sidewalks socks. But what really matters to me is this. This is actually a design that I have in, like, that is on the sidewalks in my hometown. And if I can find a picture, I'll post that. And this is the top of the sock with the same design, although I did some changes so it would fit. And that's the back of the sock, which is just, you know, changing colors every stitch. So I hope I get test knitters so that I can publish this pattern. So if you are interested, message me. This is cuff down, and there are only 3 sizes, at least right now. If there is a need to add more sizes, I'll probably do that, but right now I only have the 3 sizes. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is a sea motif. You have your sea stars and you have your shells and a cord, like as in, you know, like rope. And I'm really happy with it. I used Mondim to make this. It's really cozy. It's tall enough, but not too tall that it won't fit my leg once it gets to the calf. And like my other patterns, there is no Excel spreadsheet. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, well, I'm really pleased with it. and it has on the side here a tiny Fabel, like tiny, just 2 stitches. So if you are interested to test knit this, let me know. And the other 2 things I wanted to catch on while I was here, well, there's sort of 3, but this one's the most important. Using this yarn, which is a Malabrigo, I forget the color, but you can tell it's like a wine color. I wanted to make a hat. The hat is the Muts pattern that I talked about, Muts number 1, I believe, that I talked about, I think, 2 episodes ago. This would go well with this, maybe. I think it would go well with my shirt. But anyway, it is super wash because the person that would be wearing this has a wool allergy, but they seem to do okay with super wash wool because it has so much treatment to it, I guess. So hopefully they will be okay with it when they start wearing it, but they have like put similar yarns all over their face, and this super wash was the only thing that they did not react to. Oh, and this is the blue I'm using for the socks. It's a very pretty blue. Then there is a color work sweater that I want to do, and for that one I would be using a lot of color. I'll be using all these and both of these, and hopefully that should be enough. I'm excited about making this, but I did want it to go through the vest first so that it would be ready by Christmas, and I will have to go through the hat first so it is also ready by Christmas. But as soon as I finish those, I could cast this on. And then, of course, you might remember my Mercier Hardy. I also want to start that. I did this little sample of it. It's not the full-on sample, it was just for me to test the beginning of it. This is staked in the center here, but it has this pattern here. This is the back. This pattern goes down the sleeves and all the way down the body, and at the front, whenever you do increases, you change to a pattern that is just stitch by stitch. And I also want to start going on that, but as you can tell, I have other priorities right now, and I just really want to get into that color work sweater because it's gonna have so much color. I'm really looking forward to that. Also, additionally, I would like to do an advent, like Vlogmas, I mean. Except that I think I will do the kind that is like once a week for 4 weeks. So we'll see if that works out, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, then I'm sure you'll have many other Vlogmases to watch and other things. But if I do the Vlogmases, I'll probably be doing like little sit-downs like this and just go through whatever I'm knitting every now and then. Not make it a full-on podcast, but it will sort of substitute the podcast for the following month. Also, my school is doing great. I know that I have only 0.7 points. I am only 0.7 points away from passing, and after that I'll probably ace my exam, and I am not worried about school anymore, at least for this semester. Next semester it will be harder. I started with an easy class to see how it would go. I think the other semesters might have more reading and more work to do, so we'll see. how that goes. Work is doing great. I'm really happy at work. And everything at home is also doing well. So I hope you all enjoyed this podcast and that you like whatever videos come after it. Alright, well, that's it then. Bye bye. And happy Thanksgiving and happy seasons or seasons greetings or whatever.